will be talking about points 1, 2, 3 on the shoulders. We will be talking about the neck. We will be talking about the base of the skull. You guys don't get too comfortable. Walk around as you need to get a good view. Okay?
And
then, yeah. And then the head and all that stuff. Okay? You want a pillow? That's cool.
No, thank you. I feel like neutral.
That's cool. All right. Where do we end off? We ended off at 59, stretching fingers. So we were on our bum, just chilling, stretching. Okay. You might have. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you. If anybody's bored downstairs, tell them to come up.
Okay, if I don't have to come
Sure. That means you're bored. Stretch fingers, 59. Stretch fingers, we just finished that. I told you guys, get used to, are you recording?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Told you guys, get used to this little rotation, right? For a couple reasons. Number one, every angle that we go, stretching is a little bit different. You feel it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's pretty cool, right? We can go as low as we want, right? We can go behind the back. We can get him to do some Thai dancing here. Does that play some Thai music? No? But the reason why, even more so, is for us to get into their next position. Okay? We want to keep this bent finger position because we're going to bend his hand back to his shoulder. We're going to lift up the elbow and place his hand beside his head, fingers pointing away from his head. Okay? That's a very easy thing to do. Let's do it again. Finger stretching, finger stretching, finger stretching. Da, 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 da. Fingers pointing, going to his shoulder, lifting his elbow at the same time, rotating his hand so his fingers are pointing away from his face. Okay? If he's on a pillow, you just have to, yeah, pillow's a different story, but
This feels better off the pillow.
it'll be more stability for sure. Okay. I want to preface before you guys make the mistake and ask questions and everything. The hand needs to be placed about the ear. Okay? If we're out here, what we're going to do is not going to work. Because what I want to do is stretch this whole side of his body. If I push down here, there's no stretch, right? Because there's no movement at the elbow because it's blocking right here. If I have his hand below his ear, like super like that, then you can possibly break his wrist, right? Alternatively, if you have his hand, fingers pointing down, I can also break his wrist. And if I have his hands, fingers pointing upwards, that's just resistance. I can also break his wrist. All right? That's some MMA stuff for you. How to break wrists. Okay, so, very important. When we do this, the heel of the palm is just about the ear, right? Depending on the flexibility, and fingers pointing away from our client's face. All right? Done. 60. A, stretch, torso. Place hand of client on pillow, no pillow, beside head, fingers pointing out. With one hand, cup the elbow and the other hand place on client's thigh. Stretch 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. What does that mean? I'm facing my client. This is my body position. My right hand at his elbow, not down here. If we do this and we push, we're stretching his skin. It's gonna hurt, not comfortable. At his elbow, lower hand at the top of the thigh. You know already, arms straight, leaning forward, automatically there's a stretch. Feel that? Nice. Point 2, midway down the thigh. Don't have to be aggressive. Like, I'm not, you can see me right now, right? I'm not like, oh, I gotta stretch him this way. Just easy going, okay? Nice easy going stretch. 1, 2, 3, just above the knee. 2 and 1, middle of the thigh and upper thigh. you this so you know what it feels like. That does not feel good. Okay. So at the elbow and not at the tricep on the skin. Super delicate. Okay?
And it's really just this line.
It doesn't work.
And
Again, guys, we don't have to be aggressively stretching.
Mhm.
Just nice and comfortable. Stretch, stretch, stretch. All right? Next, we can, as indicated there, we can do a Wingate here if you want. Palm has to go a little bit further inside and stretch a little bit and pressure on the lower, on the lower hand. Okay? Feel that, release, Wingate. Okay? Wingate, we are not putting our fingers inwards, obviously, for obvious reasons, yeah? So, fingers pointed out. Right? Next, 60B. Check this out, guys. My body position is like this right now. My upper hand does not leave the elbow. The only thing that moves here is my lower hand. My lower hand comes over here. It says there on the first bullet point, move hand from thigh to upper arm. Right hand stays here, left hand. PPP, triceps, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna pinch, pull, and push the tricep. Okay? P, pinch, pull towards me, and push down. Point 1, pinch, pull, push. Right? When you get this, it's almost, when you start to feel it, it's that circular motion here. Okay? That's all we're doing. So pinch, tricep, pull, and push. Okay? When we have finished that, 60C. This is where we were talking about day 1, kneading, right? Kneading is a full circle. We're doing half circle kneading. At 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. If people request a full circle knead, charge them extra.
The next one, okay. That's extra.
Half knead, okay? As you can, as you will. All right? Next page. Bring our client's hand back. Nice and gentle, shake hand. We just did that before we took a small break. Shaky, 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 and down. All right? Is there any questions with that?
am I feeling that along the front line here a bit, or like side body? Okay.
Can you just do 60B again? Because I'm like taking notes.
Of course. So how do we get in this position? It's really cool. Well, I'll start from the back again. Because
Yeah, sure.
stretching the fingers, stretching the fingers, stretching the fingers. And then we get to fingers to the shoulder, lift the elbow, palm down by the ear, fingers pointing away from our client. Upper hand, turn your torso towards the client. Upper hand at the elbow, not the tricep. Lower hand at the thigh. Push 1. Point 2 is the middle of the thigh. 2. Point 3 is just above the knee. 2 and 1. When we have finished that, 60B. The hand that's at the thigh comes up to the tricep. Right? Tricep. Upper hand does not leave the elbow. Point 1, pinch, pull, and push. Point 2, pinch, pull, and push. Point 3, pinch, pull, push. This, if you see me right now, it looks like I'm doing a circle, right? I do a
Pull
circle.
is away from the heart.
Wow.
I'm just observing,
Well, I mean,
making notes.
sure. Okay, when we're finished with that, the hand, left hand, does the half knead, half circle, right?
Oh,
Pushing in, up, and around. In and around, in and around. Okay? That's it. Finish with that. Bring our client's hand back down. Grab their thumb. Shaky, shaky. We just did that already. And down by the client's side. Okay? Hands at this point.
Complex.
Hands at this point should theoretically, when you drop their hand, be facing up. Okay? You have to do the other side anyway as well for practical purposes. But right now, we're just doing one side, hands facing up. 61. Move your body position. So now you guys will have to move as well. Move my body go. I hope it works.
Do I have to move?
No, you can stay. As long as you can see. Okay. But my back's gonna be here. Okay, so 61. Have client lay on their back. You think to yourself, oh, he's already on his back. Why would you write that? Because when we are in practical situations, it might be that he's lying face down, might be because he's lying on his side, or maybe he's sitting up, maybe he's standing, maybe he's doing whatever, who knows. Maybe he just went to the washroom and he's coming back.
You might do a different order, right?
Yeah, you do whatever you want. But a head massage is probably one of the last things you want to do because it's super relaxation, right? So, client's lying on his back. I could use a pillow, I don't have to. I can use a towel instead just to raise his head here. I don't have to. However you want to do it. He doesn't want a pillow, I understand that, so I'm not going to force him to do that. Okay? 61. Shoulder, neck, skull, head. Put a comma in between those because that's not one word. I'm not German here. Shoulder, neck, base of the skull, and then we do the rest of the head. Okay? 61A is shoulders. Exactly the same thing as we've done all 3 days long. Can't say week because looking at Yubaba, right? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Neck. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Base of the skull. I'm gonna use palm pressing out. We start at point 1, closest to the neck. Shoulders. Pressing. I'm gonna show you a modification because I cannot do this. I think it's uncomfortable. But what you're supposed to do is use the palm press in like this. For my arms, when I'm palm pressing in at point 1, I'm squeezing his head. That's not cool. Right? So what I'm gonna do, which I will allow for tomorrow, use your fingers and press inwards. Okay? So finger press. Point 1, go out towards the shoulder. Point 2, trapezius, yeah? Point 3, back to 2, and back to 1. Okay? Next, thumb press, TP. Using my thumbs, pressing. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 2, and 1. This is what I forgot that I wanted to tell you earlier. When you're working on a client, be aware of your breath. I'm not talking about what you ate before. That should be common knowledge. But if I'm like this right now and doing this, I'm gonna be breathing on him, right? That's not overly cool, comfortable, sanitary, whatever. If you wanna wear a mask so you can be straight all the time, that's cool. Or just turn your head. That's why I'm turning my head, okay? I'm breathing away from my client, okay? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Back in. And then palm press, finger press. This one you can. Finger press out and in. Okay? Pretty self-explanatory. Everything we've done is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. It's just that we're doing this in a lying down position. Next, 61B, neck, finger circle. Up the neck, down the neck. From 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, right? So, at the base of the neck, my client's hair out of the way here. Base of the neck, we're going to finger circle on the sides, not along the bone. Do not touch the spine. Finger circle up and down. Next, finger lift. Finger lifting like this. Yeah, finger lifting. At the base of the neck, point 1. You can see his head tilt. Point 2. Point 3, base of the skull. 2. And 1. Finish that off with finger circle. Up, down, up. Oh, this is up, down, up. Why? Because we want to end off at the base of the skull. Okay? At the base of the skull, finger circle from 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Right, that direction. From the middle, out towards the side, close to the ear. Finger circle back in. 3 points of the skull. We're going to finger press. Get your hands under your client. We're going to finger press. Like this, almost like a pulling towards us. Right?
Question?
Yes.
It says in the book palm press. Is there
What are you looking at?
61 section 8 PP out?
Correct. So I told you, palm press, we usually would do this. Unfortunately, my arms and probably everyone else would squeeze the client's face.
So we're adjusting.
So yes, I will allow you to do, an adjustment is through finger press.
Okay.
Okay? Back to the skull. Finger circle out and back in. And now we're going to finger press like this, right? So get your hands under your client's head. Finger press 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. One, two, three, two, and 1. Next is finger circle, same thing. Finger circle, out and in. Okay, that's 61A, B, and C. Next, D, we're looking at the head now. Finger walking the center back of the skull. That's that pink line over there. Now, I'm gonna do something that's gonna look really weird, and I'm gonna show you how to undo that. If I'm finger walking, I'm doing this, right? One hand at a time. His head's gonna be doing this, right? Maybe it's comfortable, but it sure doesn't look great. What I wanna do is I'm gonna spread open my fingers and interlock a little bit and do like a caterpillar walk, right? This is what this looks like now. So I'm walking, 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 okay? My client's head's not going left and right. You feel the difference? Okay, more comfortable? There you go. Yeah. Try testing and true.
Sorry, can you point
Yes.
out the 3 points on the skull again? So it's sideways from like here.
Base of skull?
Correct.
Base. Feels like
Now, I realize there are questions for that. When we actually put this into practice, you will feel it. Okay? So be patient with that right now. Okay? So, again, caterpillar walking up, almost to the top of the head, back down to the base of the skull behind, and then back up again to the center back of the skull. 62. I did not go all the way to the front of his head, okay? I stopped kind of midway at the top here. 62 is crown to hairline. We're going to double thumb press crown of the head. So what's the crown of our head? Everybody knows what it looks like when a baby is born. Skull's not formed, yeah? It's like earth continents, and as we get older, it becomes Pangea. Weird thing to say. Anyway, as our skull comes together, we still have a soft spot in the top of our head, right? So we want to find that. Now, generally speaking, if you form a line from the ears up to the head, that point right there is generally the soft spot in our head, okay? And that is a pretty cool spot right there. Double thumb press. Doesn't have to be overly pressure, okay? Soft spot of the head. So for me, I consider this, for whatever belief I am believing, is almost like a reset button, okay? We don't want to press it too hard, but we want it to affect, right? You want to talk about chakras and all that stuff? This is pretty much one of those things. When you release, we're going to double thumb press to the hairline. Double thumb press, double thumb press, double thumb press, all the way to the hairline. Now, keep in mind, ladies, you have your hairline, congratulations. Men, unfortunately, my hairline is kind of high up. That's a genetic thing. So you have to imagine when I was maybe 10 years younger, my hairline was a little bit further up. Okay? So at your discretion, and this gentleman as well, his hairline was not here. His hairline is probably right over here. I can see that already, right? So I'm going to double thumb press to where the supposed hairline was. Okay? And then it says TPW back to crown. Thumb press walk, single thumb press walk back to the crown. And then repeat the sequence. Double thumb press the crown of the head. Oh, soft spot, eh? Nice. And then we're going to double thumb press all the way to the supposed hairline. Alright, so if someone's bald, oh, you have no hairline. It's just, yeah. Anyway.
Just pick a spot.
Yeah, man. And then hold that there, and we're gonna finger tap. Okay? Finger tapping the head, finger tapping the head, finger tapping the head. This over here is important to actually be in tension. Because if you're just kind of like this, kind of fluffy fluff, right? This is one you cannot do fluffy, okay? If you're fluffy fluff, the client will be like, oh, are we finished? Are you tapping my head to wake me up? Right? No. So that's why keep your double thumb pressure here first. Start tapping so they know you're still doing stuff. And then you can gradually just all your fingers tap all over the head. Next. 63. Freestyle face massage. I'm not going to be overly picky, but I will show you technique. We start at the forehead, and we're going to slide our thumbs down and across to the temples. Temple, easy going, relax, yeah? Little circle, circle, circle. Right? Release. Forehead. Alright? Same thing. Down to the temples. Next, you can do the eyebrows to the temples. Alright? Next one we can do at the cheeks, just at the bottom of the cheeks, across, up. We can do at the nostrils, the edge of the nostrils, down and up. You want to go do, you can do the smile part, so the edge of the smile, up. And then we're going to go at the chin, around and up. Okay? There's more to do, but this is level one. Just going to easy freestyle that, okay? Thumb, finger, circle, chin to ears, massage the ears. That's TFC, otherwise known as Toronto Football Club. Thumb, finger, circle. Thumb, finger, circle. From chin, along the jawline, to the ears. Alright, get the jaw here. Let's start massaging the ears. Alright, massage the ears. We can pull on the earlobes a little bit. Pull them down. Alright. Bullet point number 3, cup ears, 10 to 20 seconds. Warm our hands. We're going to cup the ears as much as possible. We're going to do this for 10 to 20 seconds. For that, I'm going to tell you a couple things because James can't hear me now. When I do this, my hands are in the cup position, right? As we did the abdominal stuff today at the navel. The cool thing is that there is, not 100%, but there is some sensory deprivation right now. If I have a towel over his eyes, dark. I have my hands over his ears, auditory is obviously a lot less, right? You can still hear me, obviously. The warmth in the ear, the warmth in the hand will warm the ears. That's the health benefits there. Me, what I like to do, so I'll do this first. So slowly, that's 20 seconds. I'm going to spread open my fingers, slowly let some cold air in, and I'm going to release that. Okay, how'd that feel, James? Good, okay. Now try this. Do it one more time, 2 times, yeah? warm your hands up, cup the ears. This time, what I do, right? I form a seal, and I now flatten out my palm. So now there's a bit of pressure going into his ear canal. It's not gonna hurt. It's just a bit of pressure. But as we all know, when things cool down, there's a suction, yeah? At about 20 seconds, I'm going to undo my fingers and slowly uncup my hand. You might even hear it, but also notice the direction of my hands, okay? I'll tell you why in a second. What was that?
It's quieter outside.
It was different, eh?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. So, you guys ever watch Harry Potter? The movie? Yeah? Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Harry Potter?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you know how in, I think maybe 1 or 2, they took a wand to his head and pulled out his whatever thought or whatever, his memory? Okay, so I'm kind of invoking that. Not because of Harry Potter, it's just the way I can explain it to you. When I'm uncupping his hands, it's almost like I'm pulling something out of his ears and out. So I'm not just releasing and just saying, hey, there you go. So I do it with intention. I'm going outwards and I'm allowing everything to start coming to him. So,
Does this help with vertigo?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
No.
I don't have an answer for you.
So a little bit of air pressure inside the ear canal.
So when I uncup, it's kind of like poof, and then back out, right?
Okay.
And then finger circle around the ear many times. Finger circle, finger circle, finger circle. And then we shampoo, shampoo, shampoo. Right. Now, here's my thing to you. If you guys finish early, so less than an hour and a half, you like 5 minutes to go. Oh my God, tomorrow, just give them a head massage. Relax, 5 minutes. It feels like a long time, but oh my God, you can feel, oh my God, that muscle right there, eh? How tense that is? Just work on that. Just work on it.
People have tension in their head.
Oh yeah, man, whoever gets him as a partner, you're gonna feel it. Oh my God. Right there. Right? And then just tap, 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 tap. Good. Tap. Alright? This is sleepy time. Pick a partner. Please.
Where we start from number 16, right? 60?
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60.
That thing with the elbow.
How's that?
Yeah, it was interesting. Like it felt better the second time. A little bit closer to my head. Yeah, it's a wild, like a lot of muscle that's going on.
Is it still rolling? Still rolling. Now